From Zionism to Gaza, the origins of Israeli crisis, a century of betrayal, war, and resistance. Zionism was not born in Jerusalem. It was not born even in Palestine. It was born in Europe. In Vienna, 1897, an idea was planted that would grow into one of the greatest tragedies of modern world. From Herzl's vision to Gaza's ruins, this is the untold story. The story of a people erased and another imposed. The birth of Zionism. Europe. 19th century Jewish faced persecution. Pogroms in Russia, ghettos in Poland, anti-Semitism across the continent. Theodor Herzl, a Viennese journalist, declared assimilation has failed. The Jewish need a state of their own, not in Europe where the oppression was born, but in Palestine, a land already inhabited for centuries by Arabs, Muslims, and Christians. Herzl and his followers dreamt of a European colony disguised as a homeland. At the first Zionist Congress in Basel, 1897, Herzl wrote in his own diary, "At Brussels, I found the Jewish state. Perhaps in 5 years, and certainly in 50, everyone in the world will recognize it." He was right, and the world was about to pay the price. World War I, Britain's betrayal and the Balfour Declaration. 1917, the world was at war. Britain, desperate to win, played a double game. To the Arabs, fight the Ottomans and we will give you independence. To the Jewish, support us and we will give you Palestine. This was the betrayal that shaped this century. The Balfour Declaration, just 67 words signed by a British Foreign Secretary, promised a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. But how can give you away land that does not belong to you? Palestine was Arab land, 90% Muslims and Christians Arab, only 10% were Jews. And yet Britain has declared its fate with the stroke of pen. The Holocaust and the sympathy weaponized. Then came the Holocaust. 6 million Jews murdered in Nazis' death camps. The world was shocked, horrified, but also guilty. Western nation did not want Jewish refugees. America closed its door. Europe closed its doors also, and so Palestine became the chosen solution. Not because it was empty, but it was easier to dispose another people than face one's own guilt. Holocaust survival became the justification for a colonial project, and the sympathy was weaponized into silence. Silence again, the crimes about to unfold. The Mandate years and the seeds of conflict. Under British rule, Jewish immigration soared. Zionist organizations brought land, often displacing Palestinian farmers. Entire villages were uprooted. The Palestinian people began to resist revolts in 1920s and uprising in 1936. The British crushed them with brutal force. Thousands of people killed, leaders executed, villagers bombed. But the Zionist dream was advancing step by step. By the 1930s, as Hitler rose in Europe, Jews fled to Palestine in massive number. Palestinians already under siege now faced waves after waves of migration. They saw their future vanishing before their eyes. 1947 partition and 1948 Nakba. The United Nations 1947 partition plan gave Jewish one-third of the population, more than half of Palestine. Palestinians rejected the plan. Why should strangers from Europe claim their land? In 1948, Israeli declared independence. For Palestinians, it was al-Nakba, the catastrophe. Over 750,000 Palestinians were expelled or fled. More than 500 villages were wiped off the map. Massacres in Deir Yassin, Tantua, and Leda. The world called its Israeli independence. For Palestinians, it is remembered as it was their erasure. 1967, the war that changed everything. 1967, the Six-Day War. Israeli seized Gaza and the West Bank, East Jerusalem, Sinai, and the Golan Heights. In less than a week, Palestine was swallowed whole. The world saw a miracle of Israeli victory. Palestinians saw the final blow to their homeland. Occupations was born. Settlements mushroomed across the West Bank. A wall was built to cage Palestinians in. Checkpoints, curfews, military raids, life itself became a prison. Israeli did not just want to exit, they want to expand. Oslo, Gaza, and the broken peace. In 1990s, Oslo promised peace. Yasser Arafat shook hands with Yitzhak Rabin on the White House lawn. But behind the cameras, bulldozers kept working. Settlements doubled. Palestinians got autonomy on papers but military occupation on the ground. Gaza became an open-air prison. Since 2007, Israel has blockaded it by air, land and sea. 2 billion people, half of them children, locked inside. For every few years, Israel unleashed war. 2008, 2012, 2014, 2023, and 2025, turning Gaza into rubbles again and again. And the world is watching. 2023 to 2025, genocide in real time. October 7th, 2023, Hamas attacked, but Israeli response was not a war against fighters. It was a war against civilians. Entire neighborhood in Gaza flattered. Hospitals bombed. Journalists assassinated. Children buried under rubble. By 2025, more than 80,000 Palestinians killed. 1,000 missing under the ruins. Gaza starved, cut off, and annihilated. Genocide unfolding before our eyes. Live streaming to the world, and yet America sent weapons. Europe sent silence, and the UN sent words. Nothing more. The present crisis and the road ahead. Today, Netanyahu far-right government dreamed of Great Israel, permanent control over all Palestinian land. Palestinians remained stateless, voiceless, besieged. But across the world, something is shifting. Millions march in London, New York, Karachi, Jakarta. Tide is rising, demanding justice, demanding freedom, demanding Palestine. This is not just a regional conflict. It is the last great anti-colonial struggle of all time. And the history will ask, when genocide was live on your screens, where did you stand? I am Mr. Bravo, and you are watching Global Affairs Tonight. From Herzl in Vienna to Gaza ruins in 2025, Zionism has meant one thing: the disposition of Palestine, but 127 years of exile and occupation could not erase a people. The Palestinian spirit still burns in every refugee, every prison, every child under the rubble. The world was ignoring it, but Palestine lives. Subscribe.